that emotional neglect that in the past we would have experienced. Your parents would be like, you can cry from today till tomorrow. Hello everyone and welcome once again. So today we are talking about all the amazing things that parents are doing nowadays for their children. We as African parents have come to this place where we are being really involved with the upbringing of our children. I think that there had been a phase, I don't know if it when in time it happened, but there have been a place or a time where we have made the responsibility of our children's mental, physical and emotional health somebody's work. And so the intellect is the school's responsibility, the emotional is the church, or the emotional and spiritual is the church's responsibility, the physical well-being is the doctor's responsibility. But we are now understanding that these are tools, these institutions are what we are going to use. So we are responsible for the well-being of our children. All these things are what we are going to use as a tool to help us raise our children, and it is not necessarily taking the place of our position as parents. And so I think this is huge, because now we know that we are our children's best advocates. No one can have our children's best interests than we as parents. Of course, we know those cases where a child is probably better off being somewhere than with their parents, but I'm talking about healthy, abled parents. Another thing that I want to talk about is the fact that we are no longer comparing our children. We have come from a place where we are like, look at Ebuka, or look at this one's child, or look at this one's child. We are acknowledging our children's differences, and we believe that this is going to make them who God has called them to be. And all we have to do as parents is to help nurture that. Of course, confidence can easily become arrogance. Somebody who is a leader can easily just become bossy. So we as parents are the ones who are supposed to see these things in our children and know how best to walk alongside with them. I've been telling my husband that, because special needs children has been made to be, all those severe things, there has to be something showing. We don't even realize that sometimes we are living with children that have special needs just because the way they handle things emotionally, the way they do certain things, the way they work around is different from what every other child would do. We do not realize that, and we do not stand by the child and walk through what they are going through with them, because then they are lonely, they are alone. The children feel all these things. Somebody said that the trauma that a lot of us have and we have experienced is not necessarily how big or how painful something was, but it was more so of the fact that we went through it alone. So I'm just really excited about this for us as well. I see a lot of African parents acknowledging that, this my child does this way, and this one does this that way. It is not a tool for us to now pick and choose that because of that we are loving this one more or loving the other one less. So it's really huge for me. I think this is a great stride in the right direction as Africans parenting. The other one that I want to talk about is we are realizing that what we put in is what comes out. If you are teaching your child, if you are loving your child, they are going to know how to love. If you are respecting your child, then they will demand respect from others, and they will also know how to respect others. But this thing of I'll tell my child to do what to do, but I am doing something else, we are realizing that it doesn't work. The children are looking at us. They are going to model what we are doing. So I'll say this again. Sometimes I'll see like somebody, maybe we want our children to go on this eating properly, like stop eating junk, or you like too much crackers or whatever, but we are coming to a place that we realize that, okay, this child was not born holding this food or liking junk. I'm probably the one that made them to, you know, like this thing. My child was not born with this tone. Yes, naturally they are sinful, but how they decided to use that particular tone is because they learned it from me. And so this is really great, because it helps us to even invest more into their well-being, into raising them to be whole people. You know, we are looking at all the places, because if you are investing in them mentally, you know that it's going to affect the other places as well. Physical health is going to, there's going to be an impact in that area. So I'm just really excited that we are doing all these things as African parents. I just feel good about it. You know, the other time I was watching this other YouTuber's video, I believe it was Nee and Ajay, and she was interviewing a doctor about PCOS and how it's really like among African women. And I was really excited about that, because we are not just sitting back and, you know, leaving health to just doctors. We want to know more. We want to know what we can do in our homes, because trust me, somebody said, you know, it runs in my family shouldn't be something that we just go around with, because what really makes the things that we experience really huge is what we actually put in our bodies. So it runs in my family, yeah, that's true, but why it's going to even come faster, or why it's going to impact you, is more so to do with the choices you make. Maybe it can affect you 50 years, 60 years later. But if you don't make right choices, then it's going to come now in your youth. So I'm just really excited about how we are taking charge of that as parents. We know that what we are putting in our children matter. We know that their food they eat, what they want, all the great things that is happening among us as African parents, despite all the other things that we can also cry about. I just choose to dwell on this one because I think it makes a whole lot of difference. I hear parents telling their children, hey, I'm here if you need me. You know, even when our children are crying and angry about something, we are not angry at them for showing those emotions. We understand that, oh, sorry, I know this hurts, we can have this now. I'm here if you want a hug. And I think it's really good, that emotional neglect that, you know, in the past we would have experienced. You know, your parents would be like, you can cry from today till tomorrow, you know. All those things, we are no longer doing that. We are hugging our children when they are feeling upset, because we know they are not upset with us. We know they are not, it's not an insult to us. Of course, sometimes it's hard because we have our own things that we have to deal with, heal from, and so it can be really hard just being present and sharing your calm when your child is crazy and going all over. And the last one that I'm going to say is that I see that we are taking care of ourselves, and this is huge, because like somebody said, you can't pour from an empty cup. And this is not to say that we are going to be these vain people who are always all about themselves and all that. I, for instance, know that I am selfish already, so I do not need any more focus on myself. But we do know that, you know, for us to function, we need to sleep well. We need to have community, someone to share our troubles with. We know that we have to eat properly. And so I've seen so much of that online lately, you know, somebody saying like, I need to stop doing this, I need to start doing this. And I think that is really great. I see that people are forming more and more of community in terms of who they are or where they are going. And I think that is really good. Find someone who is like-minded as you. I believe that no matter how you believe you are alone in what you are doing, there will be at least one person that agrees with you, or even if you're not in everything that you are doing, but in some of the things. And of course we can agree in every single thing, but we can have almost the same mind. We can have one direction that we are going to, and I think this is great. The last thing I'm really excited about too is that we are not pushing our children to take certain careers or be certain things because of what we are, you know. it is great that we have something in the family that we want to pass down. I think it is great if your children are interested, but if they are not, they can equally be successful doing other things. I believe that our parents made us do certain things, like, you know, it's either you become an engineer, a scientist, or whatever. Otherwise, you have failed mainly because of the culture that was going on then. And I always say our parents did what they had to do with the information that they had, with what was available to them at that time. I believe that even years from now, my children will be like, why did my mom do this? So it's always that thing where we have to always be building something. But right now, with what we have and with the knowledge that we have, I believe you do not have to force your child to be anything. You do not have to force your child to even go to college. I know for Africans, titles, college is really huge for us, you know. It's a big thing. Here, it's a blend, but Africa, there's nothing like it's a blend. And I believe it's because of the culture as well. It's because of what sells there as well. So it's not really like I'm trying to blame someone, but for now, we do know that our children can be whatever they want to be. We just have to guide them. We just have to educate them where it's necessary. Of course, we are their guide. We can't just let them walk into, you know, fire. But in the end, they will make the choices that they believe best suits them. So I wish you all the best as a parent, as a mom. This message was actually supposed to come out on Mother's Day, but we've been busy. Mother's Day coincided with our anniversary, and then it was just so much going on at that time. We just decided to take everything in. We were just being lazy at home. We did some road trips, so this message couldn't come out then, but I guess it's still even relevant today. So you were doing great as a mom, as a father. Enjoy, and see you next time. Bye bye.